Hello, welcome. I am Anthony.
And I'm Jen Bailey.
And this is the Passion for Action show. This is where we spotlight others who are using their passion for health, fitness, or running to make a positive impact. Today, we are interviewing somebody very cool. His name is Jose Zambrano, aka Fireman Joe. What do you know about Fireman Joe?
I know that a really cool photo was taken of him at the 2020 LA Marathon when he was passing our booth on mile 12, and he was in full gear. I saw it after the fact, obviously, because I was very, very far behind. But I want to know more about him and why he does that.
Yeah, but you said he runs in his gear. Is it called gear?
A uniform?
Garb? Outfit?
Suit?
Costume?
Gear. I'm going to say gear.
That's your final answer?
My final answer.
Okay. I guess we're going to have to ask him that when we do this interview. So, with that said, let's get to know Jose Zambrano, aka Fireman Joe. All right, Fireman Joe is in the house. Hello.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Welcome,
Before
sir.
we start here, in the introduction, we're kind of having a little, not an argument, but a discussion over, do you call your outfit an outfit, a garb, a uniform?
Gear.
What is it called?
Well, it's actually a modified turnout gear. That is actually what we use on our, when we go and do a fight fires, structure fires. So when I started doing this thing, in the beginning, I was using an old firefighting gear. And then I was in one of the events, and then one of the companies reached out to me and said, hey, were you willing to wear our stuff, And then I said, yeah, sure, and then I gave it a try. It was a little lighter, and anything, I don't run to show off. I'm just doing it because I want to deliver the cause, because I'm a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wear the pack, I wear the leather helmet, which, this is what I, wear. So anyway, so then, and I have the shield, the cause in front of it. So, so that's what it's called. It's called the firefighting turnout gear. So
gear. So it's not it's a gear. Okay.
Yeah.
So
How much does that weigh?
So my whole stuff weighs about 45 to 50 pounds, and that's when it's dry. So, because when you start running and as you keep going, it gets wet because, the sweat and everything else. So, maybe about, 48 to 50 pounds, to be exact. I don't wear boots. I wear tennis shoes. Again, I'm not here to do drills. I'm not here to show, how macho I am. Or to, symbolize that I'm a firefighter and this is what I want to do. I want to continue doing this even when I'm off work. So
I got a funny story. I'm going to tell you how I came across you.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, this may take a minute, so get comfortable.
Oh,
so this is the the 2020 marathon, pretty much the last one before everything got shut down. And at the beginning, so we stayed at a hotel in LA, and we thought, we're going to save a lot of time. No, the taxi cab we got was late, and we got there too late to do our bag checks. We got there about 6:45. Bag check closes at 6:30. And so we have these two bags, my wife's and mine. And I'm thinking, well, they got to get to the end. And luckily we have a booth at mile 13. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll just carry these two bags until mile 13. Big deal. They weigh about 30 pounds. So when you say you're wearing 50 pounds, you kind of make me feel a little bad here. So I had to run for the first half of the marathon with 30 pounds of bags. And the straps are breaking. I'm carrying them like this. I'm over the shoulder, whatever I can say. They get sweaty, they slip out of your hands. Anyways, I get to mile 13, hand off the bags, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. I'm 30 pounds lighter now. I can make it through the rest of the marathon, no problem. No, my energies are zapped. I'm done. And so I leave the booth. I get about a mile down, and it becomes a run walk, and I'm feeling so down on myself. I'm like, this is awful. So I go a little further. I meet up with some friends, we start walking, and it becomes a little more joyful. But then about mile 24, I run into you in your full fireman garb, just jogging along. And I come up beside you and I say, hey man, how you doing? You're like, oh, I'm doing okay. And we have a little chit chat and all right, man, talk to you later. And after that, I'm thinking, wow, he's running around in a full fireman garb. I'm complaining about carrying 30 pounds of bags that I let go of halfway through, but you're doing the whole 26.2 miles with the full fireman gear. And I thought about at that time, I wonder what motivated him to start running and when did it start? So that's a long version of me leading into that question. When did you start running and what motivated you to start?
So I started running, in firefighting gear back in 2013. At the time when I started running, 4 firefighters from the Houston Fire Department, they were killed in a tragic, actually a restaurant, the roof collapsed on them.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was one particular firefighter. It really, it kind of impressed me. She was a rookie firefighter, only 20 years old. And all her life, what she wanted to do was a firefighter. And then, and that broke my heart. So then I reached out to the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation.
Mm.
And so then I told them, I said, this is what I want to do. And then I basically, put it in front of it. And I say, I want to be able to run for not only my fellow brothers and fellow sisters, but also I want to be able to raise awareness, raise money. And then I want to be able to be a beacon to be able to carry on and let their families know that their loved ones, they don't go in vain, so someone to remember them even when, they're not on the job. So anyway, so then, so that's basically when I started running. Yeah. So that's exactly what motivates me. That's where everything begins, 2013. And I started with the first marathon, which it was the Surf City Marathon. And I was back in 2013. And after that, I did anywhere between 12 to 14. I think that first year I did like 14 events. It seems like every month.
And were you training with your gear on?
Yes. Yeah. So then what I do, I do mainly, like for example, this afternoon, I went out and did my little run, 7 miles, and then I do it without gear. And then there's days, if I'm getting ready to, do an event, let's say coming up, then I'll go ahead and throw my gear. I'll go out. But it's funny because I try to make sure that I go through areas where there is no one around, because people actually will see me, on the side of the road, and they'll pull over. They'll be like, did your engine drop? I mean, they left you? Did you lost a bet? I mean, what do you need? You need a ride? I mean,
yeah.
And believe it or not, I get that same question in the race. People's like, are you on the race? And it's funny that, you were telling me about how you came across. I hear that all the time, and see, one of the things that I always focus on, even although if I'm going through pain myself, a smile is contagious. And what I mean by that is that I don't have a reason to complain, instead what I want to do, I want to be able to deliver a smile. And a smile is contagious. So when you saw me that day, it's funny because, a lot of people, they say that, they say, oh my gosh, I saw you at mile 24, a mile 25, and you're still smiling. What was so funny? What was so fun about it, So anyways, but you're not the first one who has told me that. So I have heard that multiple times. So
on that topic, before we go to the next question, you ran past our booth at mile 13 and you smiled and pointed. I'm gonna show that picture here. But that picture I got from our archives and I put it on Instagram and said, hey, does anybody know who this person is? And I tagged every fire department I could think of.
Why did you start running for ALS?
Okay, so for ALS, I came across, previous to, running for ALS, like I mentioned in the beginning, I ran for the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. And then 2 years later, I decided to switch to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. A friend of mine, his daughter died of cancer. And then after that, a couple of years later, a friend of mine, his son, he lost his son. He was one of the 19 Granite Mountain hotshots. And so then each and every cause that I have run for, it has a meaning in my life. It has touched me. So then I came across Eric Stevens, early this year, and actually, early / the end of last year, and he's an LA City firefighter, only 30 years of age. He married his sweetheart. He used to play football. His whole career up ahead of him. I have children. My son, my oldest boy, he's 26 years old. And when I hear his story that he has ALS, which is basically, I'm not going to say this, but it's basically there's no cure. I felt compelled that, I had to reach out. I reached out and I say, I want to go ahead and do this for you guys on LA Marathon, and that'll be the beginning. And then, so Eric Stevens, he came across that he has ALS. And then, so of course he cannot continue working. There is no monies or there's no research for ALS. So, I mean, I can only imagine, for him, how painful, especially for someone that young, that wants to live, they just marry your loved one, and you have plans for the future, and especially, you as a firefighter and everything else. So, and this is my way to help him. And this is hopefully, other people can do the same thing too. And not just only for ALS, but for other, like you said, there's so many people up there that need help. And it's just if I can at least help someone, motivate someone to be like, you know what, I'm going to stop thinking of myself, and then I'm going to think of others. Because that's what I think life is about.
That's beautiful.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
One person, one step at a time, and it means so much.
Well, I try, and I just try and leave this so that way my kids, my children can say, at the end of the day, they can be able to say, you know what, my dad, he left us one thing. They care for others, care for others.
What's the longest distance you've ever run? Like whether it's an ultra or just your own decided run, what is the longest?
So the longest distance I ever done 2 years ago, I decided to run for Kevin Wojcik. He was one of the 19 Granite Mountain hotshots. And there were 19 firefighters that lost their life in 2013. He was the youngest boy who lost their life. And then in 2018, it was their fifth year anniversary. I want to do something for Kevin. I want to do something for Kevin and for the 19 guys. And I say, I want to run for him. I want to run from the LA County Fire Museum, because that's when they kept their buggy. So, what happens with the Jarnell Fire Department, they demolish after they die, they demolish their fire. They were hot shots. So whatever was left, they put a buggy in the LA County Fire Museum, which is in Bellflower, California. I'm going to go ahead and run from Bellflower, California, all the way to Jarnell, Arizona. This is going to be my way to honor those other 18 guys. I say those 18 men, those 19 guys, they were sons, they were brothers, they were husbands, they were someone to somebody. And I just want to remember them, and I want to let their families know that their death, it was not in vain. So the longest distance, it was actually 367 miles. And that was
come on.
So it was 2 years ago.
You're making me feel really self-conscious here.
That was my way to remember them, honoring them, and honoring their families.
How many miles a day was that?
I started nice and easy. So I did about 40 miles the first day. And then after that, I did about 50 to 60 miles per day until I got to Jarnell. And then the next day when I got there, which it was the June 30th, that was their anniversary. Then I did a little hike to their fatality site. And it's about 7 miles, both ways. It was very humbling experience. And it was some very cool moments too, where you have other police officers, you have other firefighters pull up and they will join you, and it's just the people that they will join you. And it's just they want to be a part of that. I didn't did it for myself. I did it for those guys and for their families.
You did this in June.
June 30th, yeah.
In the middle of summer, because she has family in Arizona, and I can't imagine.
So little hot,
A little hot.
Getting into Parker, Arizona around 7 p.m. and it was 117. And then asking one person, I said, that's correct. He said, oh yes, about 120 here at Parker, Arizona.
That's amazing.
What an experience, and for such a fantastic cause. Wow.
Yes.
So my darling has the final question of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your most audacious goal? So your biggest, giantest, grandest goal, and how do you want it to have an impact on other people?
I can't imagine more than 350 miles.
I know,
I don't know
right?
what he's
Well,
I'm a hike to the
well,
moon.
well, I'm glad you guys are sitting down because it's actually something bigger, and it's something that I've been planning to there for a while. I'm turning 50 coming up really soon, and then so then I was like, you know what, to commemorate my 50 year, and again I can't continue running like this with my firefighting gear forever. So I mean, it's painful, So I'm gonna do, and the number 50. So I can't really give out too much information, and the reason why is because I'm talking to sponsors, and so we're signing agreements. So it's going to involve all 50 states, and then the main thing is going to be to raise awareness for the cause that I want to do, and raise money, and again, it's my way to, in a way, saying, I still keep on running, but then it's kind of like my way to saying goodbye, and to celebrate my 50 year, my birthday. And so and I mean, of course, I'm still continue the legacy with what I want to do.
Wow.
Give us a little nugget of info.
I know,
I'm trying to
that's
think. It's got me wondering, what can it be? Eating 50 hot dogs in 50 days.
That's disgusting.
Pretty much, yeah. So
That's cool, Joe.
Wow, yeah, I can't wait to follow that one. That's going to be
And
amazing.
when you turn 50 again?
So
you gonna-
hopefully, it's gonna be. I love the heat. So I mean, I had to be honest with you. Even though I live in the mountains now, and I got used to the cold weather as well as too, but I love the heat. I feel my body feels the best in the heat. So it's probably gonna be anywhere between, right before the summer or right in the middle of the summer. Just like that crazy run 2 years.
Wow.
I mean, so so if you see a crazy fireman down the street, that is me right there. So it's like,
That's awesome. We're looking forward to that.
Heck, yeah.
So you probably wonder, okay, what's going to happen after that crazy run that I'm planning to do? So
Also, it is a run. It's a run. It's not you're giving us a little more info there.
So after the 50 things, one of the things that I always love and I enjoy to do, it is basically there for the longest time. I like to roast my own coffee. I like to make my own coffee. I like to do that. So then my daughter and my wife, she was like, hey, Dad, he says, why you don't start up your own coffee business? So with that in mind, hold on for a minute.
Okay.
So anyways, so I came out, so to continue again.
Oh.
So then I went ahead and, that was basically my daughter's and my wife's idea. And they say, hey, Dad, I'd love to roast coffee. I mean, I know that you're planning to, not keep on running for your whole life. I mean, you're gonna end up hurting yourself. So after that big run, to continue the legacy is basically, coming up with my own coffee. So basically what it is, and this is something that I'm gonna send to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, so basically Fireman Joe is gonna keep on giving back to these causes, and this is my way to put it up there. So anyways, this is gonna be the next thing, you know what I mean? So again, being up there in events and races and things like that, giving out a cup of coffee, for people to get a boost of energy, and then at the same time, giving back to those causes that I run and that I love and then I support dearly, and then other causes as well as too. It's not just only the 4 causes that I run for, but it's to help out the community. So
clever is that?
You've got a plan, and I love it. I love just the steps. So you're on it, and you're gonna keep moving. And damn it, Joe, you're fantastic.
No, I'm not. I mean, no. I mean, again,
You're humble. Quit, stop it.
My wife says, "Let me poke that head of yours." No, I mean, again, it's not about me. It's not about the likes. It's not about any of that. I mean, just continue giving back, and hopefully that I can inspire others. I mean, it's funny how you know, when I started doing the runs, I remember I was the only one, and people would be still like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And then little by little, I start seeing other firemen running in gear. I see all the police officers running in you know, in their uniform. And that to me, it really, you know, it was like, it was very inspiring, because I mean, again, you know, if you have a cause other than yourself,
Mhm.
I mean, that is huge. I mean, it's like now you give a meaning instead of being personal. I mean, it's just you don't make it about yourself, you make it about somebody else. And now it's worth it. Now it's worth it. It really is, because now you're not going to give up. Let me put it that way. So
Good job, Joe.
We're super proud of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had a lot of fun hanging out with you.
Yes.
So if you like this episode, if you want to support Fireman Joe and his efforts, we're going to leave his link in the bio, in the description below, and you could follow him on Instagram, and be sure you keep up with all his adventures and his upcoming 50-day thing he's got going on. It's going to be awesome. And then make sure you get some coffee from him after his
I will.
thing is
All
done.
right.
Thank you, Joe, for hanging out with us. Bye, folks.
Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate it. God bless you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again, Fireman Joe, for spending this time with us. We thoroughly enjoyed learning about you and all the causes that you work so hard for.
Mhm.
I look forward to what this 50th birthday thing is gonna be. I'm so curious about it. So
Maybe he's gonna do 50 steps. You think that'll be what it'll be? 50
50
steps?
steps in 50 states.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, he's got more gusto than that.
Yeah.
So if you guys like our videos, be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. This way you can get more info on other awesome people.
And don't forget to hit that bell, ding, 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 so you get notified when we interview awesome people or we have any content coming out. With that said, we're gonna finish this up by reminding you, if you know somebody who's using their passion for health, fitness, or running to make a positive impact, please let us know. Email us, message us. All of our information is in the description below. Let us know who that person is so we can also sit down with them, just like we did with the amazing Fireman Joe. And until next time,
Sending light, love, and positivity. Mwah.
mwah. Welcome to Passion for Action. I am Anthony. This is, say it again.
You know, taking over my. I have no voice. I'm just gonna sit here.
Okay, I get
I'm
the
gonna
hint.
count it down.
Okay. My lips are dry. I need some chapstick.
Wow.
Hold on one moment.
Okay.
Very nice. Alright. My lips are looking juicy. Hey, I'm Anthony. I got lots of energy.
Oh, God.